Hi everyone, I'm Frida and I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made these insect wing Plique-a-jour enamel earrings. But first, I would like to say thank you to my patrons for the support. I started with drawing the wings and gluing the design on a copper sheet. Plique-a-jour doesn't have a backing and enamel is going to go in between these little cells I'm going to cut out. To be able to cut out the cells, I need to drill holes to be able to thread through the saw blade. That's what you see me doing here. When all the holes were drilled, I started to cut out the inner cells. When we make plique-a-jour, we cut out the inner cells first and the outline later because this way we have a better grip on the piece. After it was done, I filed the edges. I filed the inner edges too with my needle files. It's a little bit difficult because there's only a little room there, so the files don't always fit. After that, I started to apply the enamel. You could use a backing here like copper foil, but it's always too difficult to clean off at the end, and that's why I decided against it. Plique-a-jour is an enameling technique similar to cloisonné, but there's no backing, so the effect going to resemble to stained glass. These enamels come in powdered form and we add water to them, although they don't dissolve in water, but the water needed to be able to transport them in between these little cells. The way I'm trying to do this, that I try to get the enamel stuck on the edge of the cells first, and after I can build on that. I try to use less water here than I would use with cloisonné because the enamels can get stuck in between these cells without dripping through, although it happens sometimes. When I was done putting as much enamel in between these cells as I could, I dried the pieces out and I fired them in my kiln on 1400 Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. Enamel always shrinks in the kiln, so we need to repeat the process a few more times, but before that we have to clean off the copper because the copper develops oxides. I dropped them in pickle and I waited a few minutes. The pickle cleaned off the oxides nicely and I just had to rinse them with water and the pieces were ready for the next coat of enamel. We are trying to do the same thing as we did first time around. The only difference is that the process is getting easier because the gaps are smaller. I'm using 3 colors here. 2 of them are transparent, the yellow and the blue, and I decided to try opalescent white. I never used opalescent white for plique-a-jour, so I'm really curious how will it turn out. When I finished filling out the cells, I fired the pieces again. After firing, I pickled them, of course, and now the pieces look much better. The gaps are much smaller, so I placed them on a trivet and I continued to work that way. I put enamel in the gaps and I also put some enamel on the places where I found the glass too thin. Actually, I found the enamel too thin almost everywhere, so I covered the whole piece with another layer of glass. I fired and pickled them off camera. This is how they look, and there are only a few tiny gaps left. I put them on my trivets and I filled the gaps. Since enamel shrinks during firing, I found the glass still too thin, so I applied more enamel on the whole surface of the earrings. Plique-a-jour is a French word and it means letting through the daylight. That's why I love to make earrings with this technique, because if plique-a-jour is worn in the ear, the light can come through and you can enjoy the effects much better than when it's worn in the neck, for example. When I was done with the last layers, I fired them in my kiln off camera. The last step is to clean off the excess enamel. I use diamond pads for this and a lots of water, and when we work with plique-a-jour, we need to sand both sides. We clean off the enamel from the surface of the copper and we also make the pieces nice and smooth. The surface becomes matte after the sanding, so we have to fire them again to get the shine back. This time I'm only firing them for 90 seconds. Here I would like to let you know that I have a Patreon, so if you like these videos and my work, please support me there or buy me a cup of coffee. The links are going to be in the description. After firing, I cleaned them up and this is how they turned out. I really love the colors. Let me know what you think. If you like my videos and my work, please share, like and subscribe to my channel and also comment on my videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!